A little further south, between the cities of Los Angeles and San Diego, lies Carlsbad, California. Each year, Carlsbad is host to a stop on the CMC Motocross circuit. 1986 was our first visit to Carlsbad, but we soon found out how rough the action was for the riders of these high-powered machines. In one of the 125cc heats, the action was not 10 seconds old when this pileup happened. As the field powered away, the downed riders were lucky enough to pick up and go on. In the replay, you can see just exactly what the problem was. The track narrows, probably by 2/3 going into turn 1. And turn 1 is almost 180 degrees. A nightmare for the riders of all classes who were scrambling for position. In the quad runner class, number 86 Brian Fry had a typical problem of an open wheel vehicle. He got tangled with the rider in front of him, and some sort of flip was inevitable. Now, this was Brian Fry again, and again he landed on the wheels of a competitor. The wheels tangle, and over goes Brian Fry. As we look again, Brian Fry was charging to the outside to make the pass on number 12, Jim Putman. The open wheels met, and when that happens, anything can result. The result here is that Brian Fry was run up onto the embankment, and he took another nasty tumble. These are the 250cc machines. Here's how Brock and I called this incident. Now it is Ward in front of Billy Frank, or is it? Oh, and they collide. They are both down and down hard. Some spectators get jostled around, but doesn't appear to be anybody down there. Billy Frank took the worst of this. He's in pain, Brock.
He took a hard shot in his left leg. He's holding his left knee.
For some reason, number 26, Billy Frank, got way to the inside and couldn't correct fast enough to avoid hitting number 1, W. Jeff Ward. After contact, Billy Frank was on the bottom of that pile, taking the worst of the impact.
Well, he was right behind me for about 3 laps, and then he passed me going around this turn, and I thought I'd get him back on this double, and I passed him, but I landed in a hole, and my hand came off the bar, and I just slid over and hit him.
So he kept going, but you were the loser, huh?
Yeah, I think I smashed my knee. I hope I didn't twist it, though, because it'll take a long time if I twist it.
Oh, boy, it's injuries like twisted knees that bend the ranks of motocross riders more than anything else. This is number 28, Bob Moore, and number 82, Jeff Leach, fighting for the same piece of turf. Both riders lost their balance and came back down to earth the hard way. Let's slow it down so you can see that number 28, Bob Moore, got a little out of his line, came over and tagged Jeff, knocking both of them off balance and into the dirt. It looked like Moore and the yellow took the worst of it, but they both walked away. The next casualty on this top Carlsbad track was a number 6 bike of Russ Wagan. He, like Bob Moore in the incident before, got too close to a fellow competitor and pays the price by landing on his back. His hopes for a good finish that day were over. Now, that incident could have gone either way. Wageman came a little wide out of the turn and made initial contact with the number 4 machine. But as Wageman attempted to make things right, he overcorrected, out came the rear wheel, and he was down hard. TNN and American Sports Cavalcade returned to Carlsbad in 1987, and the competition was just as keen as the year before. Here in the 80cc expert class, Jeff Emig in the green went down, and Chad Patterson didn't see him, hit him, and also went down. Obviously, both riders were okay and got back into it without losing too many positions. The replay shows us that Jeff Emig's rear wheel went wide as he was negotiating the turn. He went down immediately, and then came Chad Patterson, who not only hit the bike, but gave Emig a good shot to the face. They say motocross riders are the best conditioned athletes in the world. Even the mini bike riders are in that kind of shape. They got up and were just fine. The 80cc expert class is composed of the youngest riders. Here, 2 of the most aggressive were battling for second. Paul Paige called it.
Up toward Devil's Drop. Here they come over the top again. The battle for second place. Gaddis closes on the outside. Gets around him. We've got a problem here. A crash as Antunes goes down.
And he went down hard. Paul, that appeared to be just a simple case of 2 riders getting together, fighting over that second spot. They got together hard, but this man was the big loser.
Well, here's an opportunity to look at it again. That is Gaddis on the left-hand side. Antunes makes the turn in as Gaddis exits a little wide. It looks to me, Steve, like just a good fight for second, and Antunes happens to be the loser here.
And the following riders did a good job of missing Buddy Antunes. That was a little close. He is up. He's back on his bike, getting it fired. He'll rejoin the race.
Buddy, you had a problem there. You tangled with your own teammate.
Yeah, it was just. Oh, I tried taking the inside, and he went around me like that, and he got underneath my arm, and it just washed my front end out, and I just went over and I knocked my head. And
You really went down hard. Were you hurt?
well, I just hit my head, and I just figured I'd lay there because I didn't no sense of getting up when my head hurt. I don't know. I'll get him in the next moto.
He said something when you rolled up here. Was he apologizing?
Yeah, you know, it wasn't his fault or nothing. We were just both going for it. It's just one of those things. It's racing.
That's what it's all about.
Yep.
Good luck to you. Thank
Thanks a lot.
Well, luckily, Buddy Antunes was missed by the other riders behind him. Not so lucky was number 5, Ricky Johnson, who in this 250cc qualifier not only went down hard, but was hit by 3 riders. The third one hit him hard. Paul Paige saw the results in Johnson's pit.
Well, here's Ricky Johnson. And Ricky, if you turn in there, there's evidence of that earlier crash. It didn't seem to slow you down, but it had to hurt.
Yeah, it hurt. It knocked the wind out of me really bad. Getting hit once isn't bad. Twice is bad, but 3 times, that was the charm. I thought when I crashed, I was laying on the ground, I got hit a couple times, and then I thought that was it. I looked back, and one of the last place riders was just coming straight for me and hit me really hard.
Why does Honda pay Ricky Johnson $1 million a year? In spite of that injury, Ricky Johnson went on to win the event in the 250cc class. In 1988, back at Carlsbad, typical motocross mayhem in turn number 1. In the 125cc class, Dana Wiggins was the first to meet the dirt. He had been in 5th and charging at the time. Well, Dana Wiggins did not give up after that fall. He worked his way back up to 7th, and this was just not to be his day. Then number 72, Joel Breck, lost it on the dry part, but lands on the wet part. Nobody said this course made any sense. Looking at it again, the bike simply slides out from under Joel. The outside of the track had been dried by the sun. A surprising and dangerous situation when a rider is used to a track being wet and tacky. Watch the second bike on your screen. That is 173 Willie Bowden, and Willie was caught completely off guard. So was I at the time. Ooh, Willie Bowden is down. Willie Bowden is down, and I don't have to tell you, hard.
Took a very hard spill, holding on to his right knee. And the motorcycle, he's not going to get back up. Let's just hope that he doesn't get clouded. Fortunately, there doesn't seem to be many riders behind him, and Willie is in a lot of pain.
Let's see if we can determine just what happened. It looks like Willie Bowden was concentrating down track. Suddenly, the rear wheel hit a deep pocket in the track and bounces up with enough force to send the bike sideways, throwing Willie down hard. The bill on his helmet was instantly shattered as it took the initial force of the spill. But Willie still suffers some knee and leg injuries that forced a trip to the hospital. Now watch this carefully. At the center right of your screen is number 15, Michael Craig, in mid-tumble. And this one hurt.
They are attending to Michael Craig. He took a very hard hit, Steve.
Oh boy, I'll say, and the motorcycle just kind of flew away from him. At least he didn't get tangled up with it.
Let's take another look at this.
Well, Brock, hard to say in that picture exactly what happened, other than Michael Craig took a very hard hit, not only on the dirt, but the motorcycle did indeed pounce on him at least once. Other than a few battle scars on the chest. You okay, Mike?
Yeah, you know, just kind of sore around my neck a little bit. That's about it.
What happened?
Well, I thought I can wheelie over to make it, a little bit more time stay on the ground. And when I tried to wheelie over, it kind of kicked me over, and I hit a couple of braking bumps and went over the bars. But other than, a couple of bruises on my neck, I'm okay. Ready to go again.
What a tough bunch of kids we always find at Carlsbad.